Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's a new week. Another great week to come for us. And honestly, I just want to dive straight into it. I'm excited. I'm pumped for this week. There's just a lot of things that I've been noticing with the price action, and I've been paying attention to it. Hence why I'm always bullish in calls short term, no matter what, and long term puts, because what everybody else is focused on is the fundamentals. And like I always tell everybody, I focus on price. Fundamentals come, they are delayed compared to price. And what I mean by that is fundamentals are there, with rates and blah, 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 treasury, blah, blah, blah. All that extra stuff is just, for me, in a sense, a distraction. And then to see my own team talking about politics, that's why I created a politic channel, because I honestly don't want to hear that. It does distract me with markets when you guys talk about, oh, this and that. And there are people that haven't been, if you haven't been here for over 5 to 6 months, that politic talking and the whole thing about treasury and stuff like that, I don't care about it. When people are like, oh, Ninja, I'm nervous for it. I've heard that for the past 2 years, the past 6 months, the past 12 months, since last year. And I'm trying to let you guys know that all you have to do is follow price. I'm not a fundamental trader. I'm a price trader. I follow levels, and that's all I follow. That's all I care about. Look at the price where we at. And people are like, oh, slow volume going up. Yeah, slow volume going up. No matter what, that's just how things work. So this is exactly why we hedge. We hedge with 3 weeks to a month and a half time. Okay? That's my strategy. That's how I trade. That's how I work. Because that hedge will pay off no matter what, one way or the other. If we get a big weekly outflow and price comes down and drops, that's on a big pullback. Those hedge pay off. Short-term calls, they don't. So that's why that position, that hedge is there for cushion. Okay. So looking at SPY, these levels are just self-explanatory. Basically you can see blue, red. I added these. I'm just showing you over time based off of a quarterly chart. These are your support levels going forward. And I don't think we're going to see 300 for a long time. And I'm talking about possibly another year and a half. And if we do revisit 300, we're not going to go below it. That is a major area. That was a breakout area, and that will be our retest. But we have to get back to 330 before any of that actually even happens. 330, you have 350 right now. We have a triple top somewhat for there. You got September, you got October, and then you got November for the retest, as you can see here. Let me get the arrows going for you guys. I don't need to talk about individual stocks with you guys. I want to talk about why I follow SPY. Why SPY is my baby. I can trade ES. I can trade SPX. I did all three. Physically, I never traded ES, meaning I never actually traded with real money. But virtually, it's the same to me as SPY and SPX. Price action is the same to me. So I look at a lot of things. I look at when SPY pulls back, and I look at when plays continue to move forward, or plays just stay steady between a certain range, and that range either it becomes a resistance or it becomes a support. And I see what the price action does for SPY. What is SPY doing at this time? Is SPY moving forward while that price stays in a range? That means that's accumulation for that stock that you are currently in. For example, W is one of them. And that's how, and we're going to get to that because I definitely want to get to that because I went over the chart. We played W 3 times. We caught all-time high. We caught previous Monday, and we caught 2 weeks before that too. We've been playing W going on almost a month. End of this week, going into next week is going to be a month. We've been playing it. Okay. But if you look at these pink arrows, you see that's a retest. That 350.31. So that was tested 3 times. Okay. This is on a 2-day. So that was tested 3 times. So if any major pullback, any major drop happens, anything through 381 that goes straight down and it breaks all of our supports, and by supports, key supports are always your 1430 and your 14, 20, and 30 SMAs. Any closes below those, that's when you have to worry. But if you look over here, there's been closes below those, but there's been also a support. You have action, you have price supporting that area. Okay, we have that here. As you go up, price supports it, continues to support it. You see that as you go. And these are the things that I look at. That's why I don't get excited like a lot of people do when it comes to shorting or going long. I'm just like, you know what? I just know how to rotate. I know how to rotate. I focus on names that I can go from this name this week to this name the next week, and let that name, like I can have 5 positions, right? 5 different stocks, 3 that don't work for me and 2 that do work for me. But those 3 that don't work are not working for me, have more time than those other 2. So everything makes sense to me. Okay, so this is your SPY. My target this week, 406.85. I don't see why that's not hard to to test this week. It's like right there. We're mid range currently, so we're basically going to open possibly above that. If they can run us to 406 and gap us up and continue to run us to 406.85, we will get short at 406.85. Anything near that, even 2 points away from it or a point away from it, we will short it, and our short target will be gap fill. So depending on how we open, remember, things do happen. Like Friday, when I told you guys we're looking at 393s and 394s. Then I was like, never mind, because by pre-market, price is already gapping up. And then by open, prices continue to gap down again. So that was a perfect opportunity. And we opened up calls, same day, same expiry call that day, and they paid off nothing. We flipped the 393s. I don't even know how many times, 3 times. 394s, same amount of times. 395s, only just 1 time. It was just like a quick flip. That was just like that was just there to see like if anything with an end of day run, which they actually did at 394, pushed to 394.21, which wasn't that bad. Or I think it was, yeah, it was 394.21. But as you guys can see, this is all you got to focus on SPY. Okay, give it time. Stop looking. This is why I'm off of Twitter, because around this time, this is where Twitter gets crazy. Everybody starts over predicting. Everybody starts acting like they know everything. They want to be right. So I want to get away from the know-it-alls and focus on what I see. Okay, so that's SPY. I'm jumping straight into W. I'm sorry, because I got to jump into W. To break it down to you guys, last week I was freaking annoyed. And it was a child. It had to be a child, and it probably was that same guy from before, from last time, that same kid, because it has to be a child. You don't email somebody, and it's just annoying. But when it comes to cores, we don't talk about cores the same week we get into cores. That is rule number 1. Why we don't talk about cores? Because the cores have a month to 3 months time. For example, XLE, we had monthlies on those. We had monthlies on a couple of oil names, ZOM. And these names took, by the 2nd to 3rd week is when they took off. So you're either going to average down, or you're going to get out the position until you feel it completely bottoms out. Look what happened with XLU. People are trying to catch that falling knife. Me, I flipped it so much that I said, just keep flipping the weekly calls, keep flipping the weekly calls every day. We were getting that 50% to 100% daily when XLU was doing that for us, until it paid itself. And then when we caught that bottom a week ago, what happened? And now if y'all look at the XLU chart, I'm going to get to that. But let me focus on W. But yeah, let me actually focus on W, and then we get to XLU, because XLU is paying, and I don't hear no complaints. None at all. People were complaining about XLU, and it's always new people that complain. I kid you not. Everybody that's been here for a while already know how it is, how we operate. It's all about patience. If you don't have patience, don't trade. This is not for you. All right. So for W, I want to point out a couple of things. I like to keep my levels in place. This is a 2-day. Here's a 1-day. Okay. Now let me explain something to you guys. We played this for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Where was it? Nah, we didn't play this one. Nah, 2 weeks. Sorry about that. This is a daily, right? So first move, we played here. 226. Or is it 220? Yeah, 225. I remember that Friday. This is the Friday I added so much to the 330 calls. Or was it the 310 calls? It was one of those. It was the 310 calls. Yes, it was the 310 calls. Because Monday came, we gapped up, boom, closed at 290. Or this was a Friday. I don't know. 220, no, 226 was a Friday. Yes, 226 was a Friday. So, nope, wait, I got to double check. Let me double check. Give me a second. What was that? 226 was a Friday. All right, this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. And then you have Friday. I got to count if there's a short week too. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. All right, so this was the Friday. So it was a Thursday here, or it's a short week, whatever it was. One of the weeks didn't count. And you have an inverted hammer here. So I added the most I can. Then Friday, what happened? Oh, yeah, it was an ER day. So Friday, what happened? We moved up. And then Monday, we had a big move. That was 1,000%. And then on the day, even if you chased, and I told everybody, you can buy anything between 300 to 310 or even 320, you were going to bank. And I just kept adding. I kept adding. Monday, I didn't add crap. I just let it do its thing. So that's the first one, right? That was the first move. Then we went inside. Then we went down. We formed two hammers. Got long again. Then we went up again. Okay, and then we had that Monday move to where we had an inverted hammer here, which was 3-8. That was that Monday move. So you have Tuesday, then you have Wednesday, you have Thursday, then you have Friday. We had another hammer Friday. The goal I was waiting for was that retest of the 14 SMA here. And we got just as close to it as possible. Also a demand area, Fibonacci, in the Fibonacci sense, which was 303.17. I added a lot of April calls there. Now, going into this week, people don't understand. This is also a inside. This is a double inside week. This is inside off of 310. So 311 was inside of 310. And then you had the 312 was inside of that 310 as well. Breakout is above 326.87. I'm going to keep that as the main breakout level. Above 333.98, we have all-time highs with a target even higher than that. That's why we bought time for April. At your 4-day, I use my 4 days. This is how I get my bigger picture. 4 days, I start calculating ranges, average true range on a 4-day. Previous 4-day range was 63 points on W. This one currently was 22 points. Previous before the other one was 72. You just start looking at all of these. It's 22. All right, so 310. The next candle starts 316 for the 4-day. Okay, so next Tuesday starts a new candle. So keep that in mind. We do not talk about this until the Friday. Actually, the 16th. So calls expire the 16th. We have the 360s, the 365s. I have those as well. By Wednesday, we want to see exactly where price is at. New 4D candle is going to tell us where we are. I want to see 333.98 test. Now, Apple. I want to show y'all this Apple chart. I was looking at it on my phone. So off of this is going to look a little bit different. But I marked a couple of things. A couple of key things. I'm going to pause the screen because I got to go to adjust my, what you call it. There we go. Boom. I'm still here. Just got to change the color of my levels. I don't want y'all seeing my, what you call it. So still got to adjust these because they're getting even more accurate. All right. Resuming share. Here we go. So I'm going to put it on a monthly basis for Apple. Here we go. Then I'm going to move it down after that. Get rid of this one. This other one is actually a breakout. But this is off of a low. So, well, no, actually, you know what? Remove. I got an idea. So this is our monthly, right? We can use this retest here. I like to use the most extreme retest. So this would be our first retest. Hold up here. Got to pull back here. Sometimes if it doesn't line up, what I like to do is I'll go like down to a weekly just to see why it's not lining up. And then you'll start finding out why by looking at your candles. So you're going to see exactly right now what I'm doing. See, this didn't make any sense. So there was that high peak that I used. I was correct with the high peak, but there was actually within that that monthly candle, there were 4 candles. And here we go. Bring this down to here. This is perfect. Now it makes sense. You see, everything lines up. 144.85 all-time highs. And this is pulled off of this level right here. Perfect. Now, if we're bottoming out here for Apple, I want to show you, I think it was on a 4-day chart or a 2-day chart. It was a big chart I was looking at. I hate when this happens. Okay, this is better. So we're looking at, all right, so you got the 5311 here, right? We're getting a similar setup. Let me just clean this up. Remove that. Remove this. Okay, perfect. This is price. It was above. And this is what happened when price dropped below. This is a 4-day. So it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. 36 days it took, basically over a month and 6 days before it got back above its 1430 and 20 SMAs. So I'm going to duplicate that. Now here we got a rejection as well. I mean, it can work from either up here, but majority of the time when I do these squares, they actually line up with the fibs. And I want to say this is somewhat a bottom here for now, based off this wick, the 4D prior to the current one we're in. So I can go off of that as well. I can use that as the bottom too. So let's do that. But it will start from here. So, I mean, we can do that, make this happen. I don't know how many days it's going to be for Apple to get out of this. But we need to get above 125.80. That's a key area to break above, back above. But based off how our fibs work and how our SMAs are currently right now, it's going to take some time. It could be some sideways action. So you got to keep that in mind too. Definitely could be some sideways action. So if we get a similar move to, hold on, here, here, I'm just going to give you a range. So I'm going to extend this from here before it pulled back. So it pulled back here before it broke out again. So I'm going to duplicate that. And I like to use it off of pullback areas because when you look at pullback areas, see, look how perfectly this rectangle is when it matches up with the fibs, right? So if I move that there, and that's the pullback area. And I'm not saying it's not gonna hit there because it would have been hit there. So I gotta move this over. And it starts from when it bottoms. So this time bottomed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles under our 1438. So 1, 2, 3, we're 4 candles. So we got 6 candles. So I got to move this over just enough. So I will look at like 180 calls for end of the year for Apple. So January 200 calls wouldn't be bad at all either. I'll have to check those out as well. Let me activate, let me edit this. Let me edit the color. I'm going to have to get my charger soon. Let me see. Edit that. Changing my rectangles to give you guys an idea, okay? I mean, it can also even be like this, activate. And if it's off of this square bottom, it still, in a sense, lines up, but it's off of that current price. So this would be the bottom here. And this is where this is basically where it would start from. And we're looking at somewhat of 200, yeah. So it'll be like that if it matches up currently with this. So I'm gonna go to a monthly. Let's get rid of this annotations. There we go. Boom. So look at this monthly. So this monthly is currently looking like a box. See, this was the issue here. I'm going to show you something just by looking at the chart already. And I don't even focus on Apple like that. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of Apple. I just like to trade it when I feel like it's ready. This was a box, right? That was a short, automatic. But now we might have another box forming here. So the 137s, it was smart to get the 130s for April, because at the end of this month, this is a monthly for this. So by April, we should definitely be close to 137 by the second week of April. By 130, we should be close to 137. If we can close above 125.80 this month, that would be perfect. But we are triple inside monthly. And I'm going to show you, I mean, if you can't see that from here, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Based off of this candle alone, okay? Similar to this candle right here as well. Price closed inside 1, 2, 3, and then price hit this candle here and went inside up. But we got a rejection off of a fib 144.76 near there. So price closed inside of this candle. Now we got 1, 2, 3. We stay inside here. I want to see a rotation up, and I want to see another breakout to that 144 and then move to 154.60. We're doing what everybody's been asking for and nobody even paid attention to it. We're consolidating. Apple has been consolidating. Whether it hits an all-time high or not, is consolidating. It's trading in a range. We can even draw a channel. We can use this closing because this is where the price has held its support at, right? Bring that up to the top of here. This will be the channel. As long as price stay, actually, let me just get rid of this. Actually, get rid of this channel. I like to use the rectangles because looks better. You can actually see what I'm talking about when I'm focusing on what area I'm focusing on. So here, I love to use inside of each candle. So boom. So let's get rid of this one. Let's edit this. Let's make this dark purple so we can focus on and zoom in on it. We got 8% to charge. I'll do that really quick. Get rid of this. All right, there we go. Now let's do it again. This is my channel range. This is what all the price has been focusing at. Let's edit that again, make that purple. All right, let's use this one. Perfect. This is your monthly. Get rid of this. I don't really need that. So Apple has been trading sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. We need more of a down move. I want to get that one more retest of that 14 SMA. Not saying we're coming down to 103.08, but I want that 14 SMA to move up. I want it to focus basically here. I'm going to show you right now. I'm actually going to just use regular arrows. Okay. There's going to be up arrow. There's going to be down arrows. It's up arrows. Perfect. So here. So see that? If price does come back down next month or this month, it will test here. This level. We're going to make a price level here. So you guys can see. Activate. Perfect. Here we go. Edit properties. We're going to show, I want to see the price. We're going to show price on the left here. Boom. So 106.83. If Apple ever wanted to come back down, that would be a buy area. And this is a monthly. So price has it just trades with inside the monthly, then it goes inside up. So either by the end of this month, we can see 133, and then we get a breakout to 144. So it depends on next week, not this week, is when you want to start buying either puts or you want to start buying calls for April. We already have calls for April already, but what I'm saying in regards to this monthly candle, by next week is when we're going to see where the price is going and how they want to close this monthly candle. If the price is already above, what is it, 122.76 towards the end of the month, then we start looking at the 140 calls for end of April. And that's Apple for you. I want to focus on like the main thing. So that's W, we got Apple. And then XLU, I mean, self-explanatory. The gift that keeps on giving. All right, here we go. I want to show y'all this chart. The rejection was crazy. And I think it was a weekly. The rejection on the downside is what I'm talking about, not to the upside. And nobody even saw this. And I don't think anybody even knows this, but what is this? XLUW? What the heck? Oh, I like this chart. All right, let's get out of here. The chart looks good. Wrong thing. XLUY. What the heck? Remind me. Somebody post that in trade on topic for me, please. XLUY. Okay, so here it is. And it wasn't a weekly. It was either a 4-day or it was a daily or 2-day. Where is it? The wick rejection. Where are we? Nope. Hold on. Maybe it's a 2-day. I'm gonna show you the wicks that I'm talking about. Actually, let me get my charger before this thing down. All right. So boom, let's go. I want to share this wick. There's a lot of giveaways for this play. When I was with a friend. I went to do brunch with a friend, and I was like, these 62 calls are so cheap. But this is when the price was down here. It was around 58. I was like, these monthly calls are so cheap, and we're trading near 47.49 within the channel. I'm like, this is a good risk reward here if they hit. And if this is the bottom, these are going to pay out at least 500 to about 3,000% if you get the right bottom and you get the right move. So if you see 64.51, anybody that had the 62 to 63 calls that expire this week coming up, you should be up at least 2,000% easily with no problem. So keep that in mind too. Hold on, guys. Sorry, Scotty. Hold up. All right, perfect. I don't know how that works. But as you can see here, based off the weekly chart, had a nice inside up, okay? So we closed above a key area, 61.86. If we gap down, the target would have been 61.86 as another relong. That's going to be a support going into this week, okay? So my target going from this week into next week is 64.51. We're going to see a lot of resistance around 63.69. That's going to be a lot of resistance area this week. So we might get a $1.50 move range for this week. So keep that in mind, okay? What else? I mean, oopsie. I got the screen recording, so I don't have to worry about it. It's recorded. So the share or whatever I paused, it's fine. I don't have to worry about that. And we got a breakout here too. This is a breakout area. So we're basically working on a breakout area right now. Oops. Nope. There we go. Here we go. Boom. This is our breakout area. All right. Right there. Anything above that gets us to 64.51. Another one, BA. If you have patience, just like that. And our 240s end this week. Can we see 308 by this week? Very possible. So what I'll do here, off of this, I'm just jumping into it. I know y'all could catch it and follow through. You can just play this over. I'm gonna do an extension off of this one. Here we go. You guys an idea where we headed. So BA 294.39 this week is very possible. Okay. A lot of sweeps for this week in the 300s and 290s. A lot of volume. I don't even know sweeps. Honestly, if I say sweeps, I go off of volume that I see on the contracts. I don't use any flow or anything like that. I don't. No offense. I call that a cheat. I mean, if you're already in the position and you want to see flow on it, okay, that's fine. Me, I'm that patient. I feel like people that need flow are impatient. That's just how I feel. We're actually in before flow hits. That's what I love. That's why I don't really care when people are like, oh, we're getting flow in our thing. I'm like, okay, that's good. Better to be before everybody than to be late. I love to be early to the party. I want to see a continuation on this with BA, but BA my levels have never changed for BA. So the next serious level is 308.73. I want to see if we can get there by this week. If that happens, I think we're looking at what, 2,000% on our calls. Mind you, we're already almost at 1,000% on our calls because we flipped these 250s. And that's when we flip. No, actually, that was LMNT. I'm sorry. BA, no, we didn't flip these. It's the price that gets me. It's that 250. It was 350 for LMNT. See, they're both at 100-point difference. This one is gonna happen. You just gotta be patient for this one. LMNT is going to have its move, and when it happens, this is a 4-day. You're looking at Jesus Christmas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inside 4 days. That's 24 days. Almost a month. As he's getting tighter and tighter. 14 SMA has been the resistance. Target 355.21. Above that, you already know. I'm going to do a new extension because if I edit that, you're going to see my, I already actually started changing them already. I already changed them to make them even more accurate. So this is exactly what you're looking at. A smart bet, if you want leaps, 400 core leaps on these would be nice to open up now too at that. That would be a safe bet. Nice triangle forming too. I love triangles, but you have to be patient for triangles. These are the things you really have to be patient for. Boom, and everything just fits perfectly. Let's edit this trend line. Actually, I can make it thicker. I'll make it darker. I like using purple. It's my favorite color. All right, here we go. Okay, and then same here with this one. Dark purple. Boom. Thicker. Boom. You guys can see that. 360 calls for April would be nice too. Gotta check that out as well. Everything requires patience. And again, like I said, in regards to cores, once you get in a core, you have to give it exactly 2 weeks. It's just similar to playing a weekly. A weekly, I give it 2 days. A core, I give it 2 weeks. So a weekly is 7 days, I give it 2. A monthly is 4 weeks, I give it 2 weeks. You know, so you have to cut it in half before a weekly, since decay hits by Thursday. I always give it just 2 days. Sometimes I give it to Wednesday if the price is just continue in the same range until it breaks down or breaks up.